Celebrities don't just break down out of nowhere. Oftentimes, they post cryptic messages, they have outbursts, they vanish from the spotlight, or sometimes flood it with noise. And then we're left wondering, what happened? On this podcast, we dive deep into the outbursts, the meltdowns, the carefully crafted Instagram captions, and the raw moments that sometimes were never meant to be seen. When the spotlight shines bright, there's always someone lurking in the shadows, pulling the strings, managing the message, and doing whatever it takes to remain in control. This isn't about just gossip. It's about patterns, power, and the system behind the star. I'm your host, Jessica Seitz, and welcome to Decoding Celebrities. Welcome to Decoding Celebrities. The testimonies and opinions expressed by guests on the show are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of myself or affiliates of this podcast. Everything in this podcast is alleged and not confirmation of validity of allegations. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Decoding Celebrities. It's Jessica Seitz here. I'm joined with my friend Matthew Parker again. And I wasn't really sure if I was going to get a podcast out this week because there's just been too much going on. But I'm going to just wing it and fly by the seat of my pants because I felt like this was kind of important information to get out. My friend Matthew kind of brought this to my attention. I'll get into all the details here in a minute, but it does involve Lou Taylor, TriStar Entertainment, Britney Spears, P. Diddy, and the connection of all of that. And that falls on the footsteps of the last podcast that I just did with Mystifying, which was all about Lou M. Taylor. So this kind of all ties in. It's kind of crazy. But let's say welcome back to my friend Matthew Parker.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming back on again and dealing with my craziness.
You're my partner in crime. I wouldn't be doing this with anybody else.
We are something. We are something else. That is for sure. So before I kind of get into the specifics, I want to give props to that surprise witness on YouTube that put this episode out, I believe, yesterday. And it's regarding how the Diddy trial kind of wrapped up this last week as of Friday. And it's pretty significant, I feel like. I mean, this is a big deal.
Yeah, I give props to BJ too. BJ Corville's her name. BJ Investigates. Such a great person, fighting for the underdog. I just have to say, like, she's been I think she saved Britney's life, to tell you the truth, and Britney's money. The $600 million that Jamie Lynn was transferring over to Lou Taylor's investment firm, BJ exposed that situation. I think she plays a pivotal role in the Britney Spears story, and we're really trying to get you, BJ, to the protest. BJ, we need you.
And she used the words "justice for Britney," so that's something. She said
She
it's
did.
time. Yeah, so I think she's hearing it loud and proud. She didn't say "free Britney." She said "justice for Britney."
We
needs to
love you,
happen.
BJ. We do.
Yeah. So, okay, let me kind of recap here a little bit, and then we'll discuss things. And I apologize. So, Matt, if I mess up some of the details, you probably understand it better. So just interrupt me and be like, no, that's not exactly how it went. So I'm going to try to recap here. So as of Friday, we got a lot of names mentioned again in the Diddy trial, being Lou M. Taylor, TriStar Entertainment, Robin Greenhill. Okay, which if you've listened to my podcast or listened to anything that Matt wrote in the petition, these are key figures and people that kind of orchestrated and were behind Britney's conservatorship as well. Now, where this is significant is that Lou M. Taylor, or how it was designated in the Diddy trial, TriStar Entertainment, was kind of seen as Diddy's manager, okay, as well, which was also a manager of Britney and a manager of other people like Justin Bieber, huge celebrities. Do you agree with this, Matt, so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
It all ties in together.
Okay. So Lou Taylor was assigned by Jamie Spears, Britney's father, as Britney's manager. Okay. Britney has in the few times that she has spoken out, has compared what happened to her as sex trafficking, has said that she would love to see them serve time behind bars, that they did her an injustice.
She said yes, and she said they were trying to kill her.
Yes, they were trying to kill her. Yes, absolutely. And I'll get into some of those reasons why, specifically with Robin Greenhill. The New York Times, I guess, put out an article, according to BJ Investigates, that stated that Lou Taylor gave a $40,000 loan to Jamie Spears back in the day.
Yes, this was the loan. This was the beginning of it all.
So there was this loan that was given, okay? Now, in the midst of all of this, through like all the years, Britney has had to pay any lawyer fees that have existed in the conservatorship, or, I mean, as to date, she had to pay Jamie Spears lawyer fees in any disputes that they've had. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that Britney has paid out the nose, like beyond paid out for
Yeah.
things. And how Jamie has been perceived in the news back then, or I don't really think that the major news sources have said anything different, was that he was a saint. He saved Britney Spears. He did what the father would do. He had no choice but to save her, and that's why she ended up in this conservatorship. There's some news sources that made fun of the Free Britney movement, that it was ridiculous, and that they should understand that without Jamie and the conservatorship, who knows where Britney would be? We just don't know, right?
Yeah.
So through the years, Robin Greenhill was Britney's right-hand assistant. Okay, Britney's everything through the years. But what's odd now is in the Diddy case, Robin Greenhill is being brought up as an accountant, okay, which I think is where things are being seen differently, if I'm understanding this correctly. There was a key witness as of closing arguments on Friday. Jonathan Perez testified, a former P. Diddy assistant, okay, talking about Robin Greenhill, basically saying that a lot of the interactions and dealings that he had to do with accounting were through Robin Greenhill and TriStar Entertainment. If you want specific transcripts from the closing arguments or whatever on Thursday, Friday, Down the Rabbit Hole is another podcast that has the actual transcript. So you can, I'll link both of those in the show notes. But what TriStar basically did for Diddy was they helped manage his homes. They helped onboard employees. They helped with accounting and paying for things. And all of these things, according to Jonathan Perez, were dealt with through Robin Greenhill. Okay? Britney Spears has said in the past that TriStar, specifically Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill, were worshipped. Her father worshipped them. Okay? He saw them in a great light, but like Matt said earlier, Britney felt like they were actually trying to kill her. Okay?
The suited up bitches, as she said. The suited up bitches.
Yep, and she has referenced many times on her Instagram, "Shall I put my suit on?" And I think that that's a reference towards what you just said there. You know,
Yeah.
shall I dress up and put my suit on? Again, I will say, she said, "I will sue the shit out of TriStar." Those were her exact words. That I think Britney wants them to go down, and I do not blame her. According to Britney, Robin gave her daily medications to drug her. Britney said to the point where she felt like she could barely speak. They asked, I believe, this star witness, what was Robin Greenhill? And he said she was our account manager. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, so basically, he paid cash for certain whatever they needed, right? And he would say that TriStar owed him the money because TriStar was handling the money.
So he had to
And
submit what, receipts or something to?
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've heard this guy speak before. I've watched other videos on him and several people. And Robin also was allegedly, I'll say, responsible for paying off SA workers. So the people invited to the freak off. So she wasn't just managing finances, she was managing or facilitating you know, allegedly prostitution.
There's a specific instance that they referred to, which was right before Thanksgiving, that he had to pay cash, like you were saying, in 2022 for a bunch of items and things, but had to then submit the receipts for it because it had to be paid in cash, or that's how it was dealt with. And Brian Steele, who is one of the defense attorneys, said, so you did in fact have to have receipts, correct? So Brian Steele's last question was, is TriStar in charge of money? Okay. So this is where it goes to the baby oil. He had to prove that he purchased the baby oil. Okay. All the personal receipts and all of that. Right. And this assistant said, yes, in fact, that is exactly what happened. That's what I had to do. Once a loan is kind of paid out to somebody, they're in debt to Lou Taylor or TriStar Entertainment. I believe that this is where all of this is kind of leading up to.
Well, and BJ said it on her show, and I keep saying it to people. People keep asking, what does this have to do with Britney Spears? Well, everything. Because when you look at the web of Lou M. Taylor and TriStar Sports and Entertainment, it ties into the Kardashians, Scooter Braun, Justin Bieber, Prince, even Prince. And Lou Taylor managed Britney's money, and she's Jamie Lynn's manager. I believe still. I believe to this
Yes,
day.
yes, yeah, she is.
It's
She is.
just
Last time I looked, she is.
absolutely insane.
So I guess there is this thing of like, I'm going to loan you money, but then they're going to hold this power over your head or something to some effect like that. Where I think that this is tying in is that the defense is trying to say that it was TriStar that is dealing with all of these money scandaling transfer of funds, that it has nothing to do with Diddy. Okay, this is where
It's
they're
huge.
going with this. Yeah, which is a big deal. Like, I mean, I'm sure, in my opinion, Diddy probably is not innocent. I'm sure he knew what was going
Well, Lou
on.
Taylor takes no accountability for any of her actions. So the fact that this is her name is being brought up and Robin Greenhill's names are being brought up is a big deal. It's a big deal for the Justice for Britney movement. It's a big deal for everything. And I mean, I don't care what happens as long as they get implicated and they get charged. I mean, they deserve to be in prison for the rest of their lives.
Yes, and BJ's thoughts are that they are currently being investigated and they are currently being watched, and probably a case is being built up against them, which would be huge. Like,
Yeah. And BJ has a vendetta against Lou Taylor, and rightfully so, as she came into her own job and gave BJ an ultimatum of having to leave her law firm, which was her dream job. So I think everything happens for a reason. And now BJ's a huge YouTuber and a big star. And I think it's great because she has helped so much with Britney Spears' case. And that's why we've been trying to get her at the protests, because we are going to be there and we're going to be loud and we're going to be proud and peaceful. We'll be peaceful, but we will be speaking. We'll be calling people out. It's important to name names, I believe, right?
yeah, absolutely. And I apologize if I misspoke in any way to anyone that's listening. I highly encourage you to go and watch uh, BJ's episode that came out a day ago. Like I said, it'll be in the show notes so that you can follow along specifically, because, I'm kind of learning as I go. Matt is a great resource in all of this, but basically, I think that Britney Spears probably is a little bit happy right now, a tiny bit. I
I
mean, she
hope
doesn't
so.
have her justice yet, but if she has heard that they're being brought up in this Diddy trial and they're being somewhat implicated as money laundering, they knew what was going down type people, that is absolutely going to tie into Britney Spears. I mean, 100%. I mean, it's the same concept. It's the same thing. Just like poor Justin Bieber and him having to basically sell his own catalog, probably because he was in debt in
Which
whatever.
allegedly Lou Taylor was involved with that. And in bigger news, or equally as big of news, Scooter Braun now owns Britney Brands. It's come to light, and
Ugh.
allegedly, and I find that very interesting because Cade Hudson is the one responsible for facilitating that. Our favorite guy.
Well, and I think if Scooter Braun is in charge, Cade Hudson works for Scooter Braun then, because
Yeah,
Cade Hudson is signing for Britney Brands. So there is definitely something to that effect. I mean, they're all, in my opinion, corrupt, horrible people
terrible.
that are
Terrible.
disgusting. And
I guess Cade's not going to join the protests, right? Or sign the
no,
petition.
it appears no. It appears no, and maybe I need to call him again and ask
Damn,
again.
Cade,
We should ask
yeah.
again, and maybe he's changed his mind. Who knows? I mean,
He
I
may
don't
have a change of heart. He may grow a heart one day.
I I I don't think so. But
No. And I just want to say one more thing allegedly about him, that he allegedly has a lot of ties in Hollywood and a lot of blackmail on people, similar to Epstein. And that's why he's risen to power like he has, and how he's been surrounded by the powerful, influential celebrities and people in the entertainment industry that he has, because he's basically has a lot of blackmail on people and he's not a good person, allegedly.
I can only pray that with this somewhat starting to come out more and more in the Diddy trial, I my hope. I mean, it's not necessarily what my gut is that maybe behind the scenes Britney is helping bring them down. Like that would be the ultimate. Is that
I'm praying.
would that be phenomenal if you knew behind the scenes the reason that we haven't seen her is because she's been one of the people speaking up and helping bring these horrible people down.
I'd
That
just like
would
to
be
say that I think the FBI is not getting involved. That would be my prayer. That's the reason they're not getting involved or responding to our calls, because not just myself, but many advocates and fans have called the FBI. I urge everyone to do it, because they should be held accountable. They should be investigating. They should be helping Britney in this situation, and they're not. And it's so important for that to come to light. So I hope you're right, Jessica. I really do.
I I I don't know. I'm just hoping in the back of my mind that like we're going to hear maybe by the end of this. But regardless, listen, Britney Spears has not gotten her justice yet at all. That is obvious. They obviously still own her likeness, her image. I mean, there's these whole Balenciaga campaigns. Did you see today? I got an email from Britney's website that they've posted new merch, like all this stuff about the 25th anniversary and all this hoopla, as if everything's just hunky dory. And if you follow the Instagram, you clearly know that things are not hunky dory on the Britney front. Like it, not even close.
That's what Jessica and I and Anchored Lotus, our friend, and a lot of us advocates are out here trying to speak the truth to the world, and we get shit on for it every day. We get death threats, but at the end of the day, we're not going to shut up and we're not going to stop. We're trying to bring something to light to you guys, that Britney Spears is not a free woman. She was never freed out of her 14-year-long illegal conservatorship. She's currently being held in a court-sealed care plan, which is sealed to the public, so we have no access to those documents, but we have proof that she's in one. CapCut and ID was traced back to CrowdSurf, run by Cassie Petrie, which was
Petri
running her
dish,
social
Cassie
media.
Petri dish.
Which
Yeah.
was running her social media during the 14-year-long illegal conservatorship, and they still are. And if you don't think that what we're seeing on her Instagram is weird, something's wrong. And it's not Britney that's being weird. It's the manipulation, I mean, and you know better than I about this, Jessica.
So now what's really important here is we're down to the wire. I think what we have 11 days to go before our first peaceful protest, which is going to be at the Diddy trial, which is coinciding perfectly because they're being brought up more and more. So we
Thank you,
want to make
universe. Thank
yes,
you,
we want to make
universe.
more people aware that we are going to be that's where we're going to be walking June
Yeah.
27th Friday and June 30th Monday outside of the Diddy trial. You know the address. What is it, Matt? I know you know.
500 Pearl Street, New York, New York, 10007. That's the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Courthouse. We will be outside in the front. You can't miss us. You're going to see a lot of press tents, white tents. I put a little video on Instagram. Maybe I'll make a reel out of it. But yeah, you won't be able to miss us in our Justice for Britney t-shirts and our Justice for Britney signs and flags. And Jessica got flags made, our
Yes,
hero here.
the flags are ordered. There's a couple that are very large. You can't miss us. So I'm going to say that we're going to be there bright and early, Matt. I'm going to say 7 a.m. I know that's
Yeah,
early, but that's
we're
going to be
probably
the
not going to
meeting
sleep.
time.
We
Yeah,
won't be sleeping this
it's going to be
weekend. That
great. We're going to
uh,
look fabulous.
and we'll
Um,
also be in Times Square, Jessica. Tell them about that. What our plans
yes.
are.
So on the Thursday evening, so the night before the first peaceful protest of the 27th. So this is June 26th. We're going to be going to Times Square, passing out flyers, trying to get more people to sign the petition. So if you are in the area and you want to help us, that would be great. You can message either myself or Matthew Parker. I'll have both of our links in the description of the podcast, and we will designate a meetup time and place in Times Square that Thursday.
Probably the red steps are the best place. And if you know, you know. They're a giant set of red steps in the middle of Times Square.
I
You
know
can't miss
exactly.
it.
Is that the bleachers you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
And
know
it'll be
exactly
a
where that
great
is.
place because it's the hub for all the fake Disney characters where they chase you for
Yes,
tips and photos. But we're gonna have tablets. I know I have an older iPad that should work. If you have one too, we're gonna have the tablets so people can sign the petition.
yes.
We're really trying to get signatures on this petition, guys. People aren't really signing. It's really moved slowly. 50,000 people have viewed it and only 2,000 signatures, which is very suspicious to me.
We're not
Um,
sure what that's all about.
Also, don't donate to the change.org site. If you're going to make a donation, we would be so grateful if you did it to www.justiceforbritney.net or the GoFundMe that we have going. And all the proceeds go for the mission that we're on and helping Britney. We are trying to get legal representation, which has been very difficult. Nobody wants to touch this, but we will win.
And maybe, hopefully, secretly, they know that behind the scenes, maybe she has legal. I don't know, but regardless, this needs to be brought into the spotlight. We Nobody has seen Britney Spears since probably 20 freaking what 18. I mean,
She
nobody.
hasn't spoken out freely. She said she wanted to speak out freely. She said she wanted to tell her story. She said she wanted to be an advocate for conservatorship abuse. Where is she? Where is her voice? Why is she not speaking? Why have we not seen her? Why isn't she at a Starbucks, you guys? What
Remember
where
how thrilled she was to get that letter from the White House? Like she was very excited about that and being a spokesperson like against this, and then radio silence, like
And Brittany's a
something.
strong woman. Brittany speaks her mind. So it's not like Brittany is being passive or just leave her alone, give her peace. No, we're not going to give her peace. We're going to make sure she's in peace. We're here to make sure she's okay. And we don't feel that she is.
And
It,
we
it
don't care who makes fun of us and what news media sources make fun of us, just like they made fun of the Free
the
Britney
Free Britney
movement.
movement.
I mean, obviously, she was not free, and
This
that's
happened
come to light.
before. I mean, the fact that it happened before and it's happening again, is that not enough for you as the public to understand that things can,
Right.
yeah, the signs are all there and we're screaming for help and we need your help.
I also want to say, for those of you that do not just want to donate money, that we have a T-shirt for sale that we've created that has the Justice for Britney logo on it, that you can purchase from justiceforbritney.net. There's a
They're
link
very
to
chic. They look very good.
there. We're going to be wearing
Jessica,
them.
I owe you for that. Thank you.
We're going to be wearing them, and we will be passing out pins for people to wear. So it's going to be. I don't know how many people are going to show. I who the hell knows, but we're going to be there regardless, and we would love to have anybody's help. I
It's
mean,
an
anyone.
excuse to make history. Can I just say it's an excuse? If you really want to make if you want to make an impact on someone's life, Brittany's just the poster child for this. We are representing children that are being, trafficked,
Yeah,
women who are being silenced and enslaved. This is something that shouldn't be happening ever in life, but especially now in 2025. So it's not just about Britney Spears. You're making an impact by just showing up and giving Britney a voice. And
yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
and it'll
And
be a great
there's
time for
many.
Sorry.
There's other celebrities. No, you're right, is what I'm saying. There's other celebrities that probably are silenced, that they don't own their likeness,
Look at
they don't
Amanda
own their brand.
Bynes. Poor
Yeah,
Amanda Bynes' situation. Like, it'll be a great excuse for Britney fans to get together, celebrate Pride Weekend, and come together for a meaningful cause. I mean, it's all love here. Honestly, we that's all we are. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited to meet people. I'm excited to hear people's thoughts. And I'm excited to make a little bit of noise and call out some motherfuckers.
I will say, if you are coming to join us at the protest and you're like, I didn't buy a shirt, I don't know what to wear. If you just have a solid black t-shirt, that's perfect, because the base color that we have is solid black. And we'll be passing out buttons that you can wear that will have Britney's image on it. And it basically, I designed them today. It says, Britney was never freed. And then it's got a picture of Britney on it. So you will have something to add to your shirt. So just a black t-shirt, whatever you have, is perfect. And like I said, 7 a.m. outside of the Diddy trial, but across the street, right, Matt? That's
Yeah.
where we can walk.
Well, we'll be on both sides, I believe. We'll be because we
But we
want to.
just can't say stationary.
We
That's the
right.
key. We have to all of us have to keep
We want to
moving
parade
because,
past the press, back and forth with our
yes.
flags and our justice for Britney.
Yeah, and our glitz and our glamour
We should buy
and
glitter, just like
all of it.
Lucky. Throw glitter
Um,
everywhere.
if you can donate $1, $2, please help us, because Matt and I are putting a lot of our money up front in hopes that maybe we're going to get more donations. So don't think that like any amount is too small. It's not. I mean, literally, like if everybody gave $1 that followed us, we would have way more than enough. So
Our
don't think that you
slogan
have
for
to
this
do a lot.
is our slogan for this movement is Britney Spears enjoyed her Starbucks. Just give up a Starbucks for a day and put that money towards justice for Britney. I mean, as
Right.
corny as it sounds, I mean that $5.75 that you're going to spend on a frappuccino, you could just not get a frappuccino for a day and put it towards saving Britney, because we are going to save her. I have
Or
unwavering faith.
Or just don't get the extra shot in your latte and put that $1 towards the extra shot of
Yeah,
espresso towards the movement.
yeah.
Either way, we really could use the help. I am so curious, Matt, to hear what else comes out this week in the Diddy trial, and what other things are exposed
I
about
mean,
TriStar.
yeah. This Scooter Braun business is really shady. I can't believe that he is now Michael Caine was the individual, and he was had shady dealings with Michael Jackson's estate. So
Mm-hmm.
it's when as Britney fans and advocates, it's very unnerving to know that this individual owned Britney brands, seeing the outcome of Michael Jackson's situation. So with Britney's now that Scooter Braun owns it, it doesn't feel any better. It just feels shadier and makes perfect sense. And they're all tied to the same people: the cult churches, Lou Taylor, the Kardashians, Paris Hilton, all these shady individuals, allegedly. But we know what the truth is.
And here's what I want to say, and for those of you that know that I'm a nurse, why the hell is Robin Greenhill dispensing medications? Robin Greenhill is not a nurse. Robin Greenhill is nothing more than a brown nosing bitch that is up fucking Lou Taylor's ass like a fucking gremlin. Okay, so I mean,
I call her Robin Greenwich.
why the fuck is she dispensing medications to Britney Spears? That's fucking twisted.
You're
So we're
drugging her, bitch. That's
we're
what you're
we're
doing.
an assistant, we're an account manager, and we're a fucking nurse. No, the fuck you're not. No, you're not. None of
Too
those
many
things.
hats. Too many
No,
hats in Britney
too many
Spears'
fucking
circle.
hats were assigned to you because you're an ass licker. Okay?
So
Sorry.
are you, Kate Hudson. You are not innocent. Sorry, but
Yeah,
we got a
we
little bit
see
of
you.
flack for calling Kate Hudson, and
Oh,
he is
fuck
no,
that. Fuck
yeah,
that.
he's no prince. He's no prince.
No,
You
he's an
know,
asshole.
Lou
He's a
Taylor's a demon, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion. We call her Lucifer. That's her nickname, Lucifer.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to bring that to light, that I don't really understand why an assistant accountant slash is in charge of dispensing um, lithium or whatever else. It
Well,
just
let me
seems kind
ask
of
you as a
fucked up.
nurse, Jessica, as a nurse, like what kind of medication would they be giving Brittany? Like a disassociative? Like
Who
what
the
would they?
fuck knows? It probably wasn't even what she thinks it was. It
Yeah.
probably wasn't even what she thought was prescribed for her, to be honest. Because Brittany said there were times she felt like she could barely speak. So I don't know what, unless these doctors were paid off to write her some horrific
Well, yeah.
fucking meds. But regardless, whatever was happening to her was all happening so that they could retain their power. They could retain their brand. They could retain their control of their moneymaker, okay? And get her to, they were, like I'd said on the last podcast, they were the puppet master. They're pulling the strings and they're making the artist do whatever they want them to do. And because she was the cash cow. She's the fucking cash cow. And it's
Yeah.
disgusting. It's
It's
absolutely
really
disgusting.
horrible. She's living a very sad life right now and it's not her choice. And that's why we're doing this because we care about the human being, not the
Mm-hmm.
brand, not the trademark as we see on Zyla River Red's Instagram, which she posted something very interesting today about.
I'll have to
It
look at
had to
that.
do with it basically the Robin Greenhill being brought up in the trial.
Oh,
The parallels are very. It's basically about incriminating someone and telling the truth, like and coming out with exposing
interesting.
people. Yeah, I should have
Interesting.
sent that to you before the podcast. I
Well,
sent it to you on
I can
Instagram.
add it on the show notes too if
It's
somebody
very interesting.
wants to look at that.
Yeah.
And if you guys
Um,
don't know what we're referencing, there is a page on Instagram that a lot of people have theories that maybe Britney is behind it. And nobody knows really for sure, but it's named after her name on Instagram, which is Isla
and it
River
says
Red.
TM for trademark. And she's
Mm-hmm.
posted some very unsettling videos, but I think they're important. But some just visceral images and videos about Britney's situation with the waves when there were no waves and the waves weren't moving. In Britney's video in Mexico, Zyla River Red posted several videos with waves projected on a wall or filming waves in the ocean.
What I
Uh,
love is that whoever runs that page called out Kate Hudson.
oh
They
yeah,
did
they
that.
did.
They did that last week. So that right there speaks volumes. Whoever is behind that page.
They're advocating for
If you'd like
Britney.
to come on the podcast,
Yeah, right.
Zyla River Red, whoever you are, we would love to have you. I don't care who you are, even if you're not Brittany. It's amazing
Or if
content.
you are
So
Brittany, come on the podcast. Hello.
yeah, yeah. Give me a ring a ding ding ding. Okay, you can call me up anytime. So what are we missing, Matt? We've talked about the protest, how to donate, where we're
I just
meeting.
like to put out there any feelers. If anyone knows any great legal representation, we
Yeah,
are seeking legal representation. I have been on the phone for the last week, every single day, trying to get legal representation. I hand delivered Gloria Allred's assistant a letter in New
he
York. She's
did. He
based out of
did.
LA. I brought flowers too because I'm really that serious about it. We all are. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to those of you that see the truth and that are supporting us. And I just, for those of you that are naysayers, we aren't going to hate back. We're just going to keep leading with love. And we just want to help Britney Spears. And you may not see it now, but what goes on in the dark eventually comes out in the light. And we
Yep.
lead with love. I don't know what else to say.
And those that are on a daily basis sharing our videos, sharing our content, creating your own videos, putting them on your page, requesting us as collaborators, sharing them to your stories. You know who you are. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. You are true Britney supporters and true fans. And I don't even know what thank you isn't enough for doing that. So,
Can
um,
I just interrupt and say, Jessica, I got to give you a lot of praise here. Jessica has a full time family, full time job outside of this, and she's working her ass off. And she's sitting here with me designing t shirts, flags.
trying.
She's doing a lot. And I want to say that a lot of you don't know what she does behind the scenes. I do. And, some of you may say this or that, but at the end of the day, I know her personally, and she's working her butt off.
So are
The woman
you.
hardly sleeps. I
So are
am
you.
too. I am too, but that's why I feel like we're good partners in this. And the Anchored Lotus is an amazing woman,
Yes.
beautiful soul. I feel really blessed to be part of a team that truly cares about Britney the person. And
Yeah.
that's what's so important to remember. She's not just a brand. She's a human being with a soul and with feelings. We need to respect that and
Yep.
keep her legacy and her integrity in the foresight.
And this is not, I'll wrap this up in saying this is not about trying to push Britney to go back to singing or going back to.
Right.
That's not what this is about. What it's about is it being able to allow her to be a free person and a free individual that feels like they can show their face. They can claim all the work that they've done. I don't know. I pray one day that she regains her catalog. She owns stuff like Taylor Swift did. Maybe re-records it, re-puts it out. I pray that one day Britney owns everything that she put so much blood, sweat, and tears into. Look, I'm making Matt cry. That's
I
all we
can't
want.
help it. I
That's all
just
we want for her, right, Matt? Like I just want her. I want her to be free to one day be able to go to these music awards where they're giving her praise for what she did, and she has that option instead of people giving her praise and respect as if she's gone. That it disturbs me, and that's scary, and that should scare everybody because we believe Britney is still alive. I believe Britney is still with us.
yeah.
I just believe Britney is silenced, and we need to be able to get it to a point that Britney can speak again. And if you don't understand that, then I don't know. This isn't the podcast for you. This isn't the podcast to follow. One other thing I wanted to add is that if we could get more attention to BJ Investigates, that surprise witness, if you guys could tag in the comments of this podcast or wherever you're seeing this clip at BJ Investigates or at that surprise witness, we would greatly appreciate it. Please. We'll see some of you guys on June 27th and June 30th. And if you can't, just donate $1. That's all we're asking. I mean, and if you can't even donate $1, share our info, and that's it.
Ugh,
And
now I'm a hot
yeah,
mess.
right.
It's like
I mean, it's been a long. How many months have we been at this now?
I don't know.
2, 3. I don't
Uh,
know.
well, you and I have been privately doing this, I don't know, 3 months at least.
Maybe, but I
It
think it's
feels like an
catching on.
eternity. It feels like an
It's
eternity.
it's
And
taken off, and on the days that we feel like it's not getting anywhere, I know that it is because there's more people questioning it. There's more people talking about it. There's more people looking at the
yes,
Instagram. There's more
please
people
spread the
realizing,
word. I'm
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. Please spread the word, you guys. If when something feels off, it's so important to share this information with people and let people know Brittany is not free. She's not doing well. It's not her fault. It's because
no.
she has no autonomy, and we want to help her. We are here to help save Brittany, and we will save Brittany.
At a minimum, use hashtag Justice for Britney. Let's grow that hashtag bigger.
And the
And
website www.justiceforbritney.net. Say
yep,
that again, Jessica, for the audience.
www.justiceforbritney.net. How did that sound? Was that
Very sexy.
Did I sound like somebody on like one of those radio shows?
It's
The
as sexy as her
law,
toxic video.
Jessica, bringing you a website tonight.
With the
Okay,
taste of your
that's all.
lips.
That's all we've got. Signing out until the next Decoding Celebrities.